Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Jaded, and I'm bringing you something a little different here. I checked out Total Biscuit's video on this demo, and I was like, I gotta play that, because that was like one of the better videos that he's done, where he's just like a little kid playing a game, and it's refreshing. So I definitely checked it out. And I gotta say, I was surprised, and I'm even more excited to see like what the multiplayer is exactly, because there's 8v8 multiplayer, I believe. I might be mistaken on that, but I believe there's 3 classes on each side: Chaos or Space Marines.
Units made it here after all. They cannot hold for long. We must hurry.
Now, I'm not the biggest Warhammer fan. I did love the hell out of Dawn of War 2. I was actually one of that really brought RTSs back for me, because I wasn't a big StarCraft fan. Well, at least at the time I wasn't. But yeah, Dawn of War 2 just totally flipped RTS on its head and said, okay, no base management, no buildings or anything like that, and just micromanage these small squads and take points on the map. Is much more tactics versus grand strategy, and a lot more like micro-intensive tricks. And I just really enjoyed it. And since then, I've just really kind of fell in love with the Warhammer franchise. And so I'm not like the biggest buff on all the lore and the story and all that. And I skipped through it on the demo for the most part. But if you guys want to go check that out, you definitely can go download the demo and do it. I would recommend it, honestly, if this interests you at all, because it was really fun for me. You know, once you really nail down the controls, they're a little wonky, I want to say, because melee's bound to mouse 2. But I ended up binding zoom in to mouse 2 and then melee to Q at some point. And I started getting a feel for that. It started feeling better. But once you get down the feel for the combat and just how fluid the one action from the other, going back and forth from weapons to melee, and throwing in stuns and executions at the right time, which in hard mode, which is what I played through here, hard mode is actually, it's not super hard until you there are moments where you just get into trouble and it's hard to get out of trouble. Like you'll get stuck on a box, or you'll just get swamped too much, or like the ranged guys are just doing way too much damage to you and you're caught out in the open. That's when Fury comes in handy, but you don't always have it up. It's got a pretty long fill up rate. Like it takes a while to fill it up. But I guess the biggest problem with hard mode that I noticed, because I went through on normal before I recorded this, so I was like, you know what, I want to play some more of this, and I ended up just recording it for you guys, so you guys can see it. The difference I noticed in hard is that when you go for the execute, and doing execute's how you get your health back. So, you want to stun somebody and then execute them if you need health. The problem in hard mode, though, is that it leaves you super vulnerable, because you still take a lot of damage, and sometimes it's not even worth it, because you'll just take the same exact damage as you did to execute. So that's a little, that's a small gripe I had, but honestly, I'll probably play through this on normal, just because that's how I play all games. I play them on the medium setting, because the game's usually tuned towards that. And when you start going towards hard or easy, the game just becomes kind of flaky or exploitable, or I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about. You'll go on hard mode, and then the enemy AI is just ridiculous with auto aim, or something like that. For instance, if you ever played the game Infamous, that game has some of the worst auto aim on AI I've ever seen. But yeah, it shouldn't be a problem when I play through on normal, because that sort of mechanic is way different. And it actually feels like you're getting something for doing executes, and I think it's a bit more rewarding because of it. Because it's just fun to rip the orcs' heads off and see all the slow motion, and kind of pen around and see the battlefield and make your next move. So if you guys haven't noticed, I'm having some weird audio problems when I record this with fraps, and I don't know why. I have no idea. These definitely aren't apparent when I'm not frapsing. So I'm thinking about picking up a sound card because I don't have one right now, and maybe that'll alleviate some of the stress off my CPU because I have a 4-year-old PC and it doesn't do so hot when I record like 720p or 1080p. Is even worse. You know, that's why I don't do a lot of other gameplay right now. Is my current PC is a bit of a slouch, and I would love one day to just completely upgrade it and be able to record and render and do all that like 10 times faster with ease, and just have it look way nicer and get higher FPS. Like, I can only get 30 FPS when I record. If I go higher, my computer just hates me even more. So I have to be pretty wary of that stuff. But you know, I'll get it one day. I'm not worried about it. I work, you know, I work with what I got. I'm not complaining. So I'm gonna try to get sound cards, see if I can fix that. Because honestly, I've tried like everything under the sun to fix Fraps problems. Like, technical problems are the worst, man. And Google doesn't always help. For that 1% of the time. So getting back to the gameplay, like, the weapons and like the guns they give you feel so good. Total Biscuit was having problems shooting the what was it called, the Vengeance launcher, and getting the grenades to explode. And when I played through it, it took me a little bit to understand it, but basically you shoot it and then you hover your cursor over it, and then you press R or reload, whatever you have a reload bound to. But you can't tap R because it doesn't, it won't explode. And I sat there like so frustrated sometimes because it wouldn't explode. I'm like mashing R over and over. But you have to hold it down for a little bit. It doesn't feel like that's a problem. Like, it actually feels fine. And I think they did this. I haven't tried this, but I think they did it so you can hold down R with other weapons and it'll blow them up. So you can lay some down and then use them during the fight. I really want to test that out because that'd be pretty awesome if they implemented that. So the Vengeance launcher feels really good. It's probably my favorite weapon that they gave us. The pistol is kind of weak and the accuracy is really bad, but you have unlimited ammo, so you should really never be using it anyways. And you know, when you use the other guns, you can still use melee, so it doesn't really restrict you in that way. The sniper rifle, I had a few complaints with it because you don't have to be zoomed in to shoot dudes. Like, it's almost better to not zoom in because, like, you can just hover your cursor over and get headshots pretty easily without zooming in. So that's kind of my only gripe with that gun. But like, really, that's not really a problem. It's just it's super accurate unzoomed, and so I never really felt the need to zoom in all the time. And then the other bolt gun felt really good too as well. Like, it's got a huge clip and you can just unload on kids, and like the sounds are really well done. Everything sounds beefy, like it has a solid impact, and I was really pleasantly surprised with the weapons in general and really how the combat felt. Combat's like 90% of this game, so you could tell they really put a lot of effort into it and nailing down all the little things, and it really paid off for them. You know, I'm psyched for this game, to be honest. Like, for PC, there's really no games out for PC that are quite like this, and so it's kind of carving like a unique niche. It's kind of Gears of War, but it's a lot more melee focused and just way more action packed. There's just hordes of mobs coming at you. You got that in Gears of War also, but it's just the fact that it's melee just kind of makes it much more unique. So another small complaint I have is sort of with the camera and getting stuck on stuff. Like, you'll be dodging and weaving out of the way, and then you'll get stuck on like a lip of a box or edge of a wall. And it's just a minor annoyance because you can always get out of the way for the most part, but sometimes you get stuck on like your squad mates, and because you clip with them, you can't like run through them or, you know, fight through them. You can shoot through them just fine. They don't take team damage or anything like that. So that's good. I don't think that's a problem. But yeah, they can be a little clunky, and sometimes like even the orcs playing through this, they would totally swarm you, and you kind of get stuck around corners and things. So you always have to be moving, just making sure you're not trapping yourself, which can be pretty, you know, it's pretty hard to follow sometimes. It's a pretty chaotic game. There's blood, there's explosions, loud noises everywhere, so you just gotta pay attention and look out for exit areas so you can get out of the way. Another thing I'm showing off in this demo is the power axe. I just happened to find this accidentally, to be honest. And I heard there's the combat knife as well. I'm not sure if there's the hammer, but the combat knife as well. It might be in the other mission, I'm not sure. I didn't figure that out, but I kind of want to check that out as well, see if I can find it. But the power axe was pretty fun at first, but I think the chainsword is better for me. I didn't really notice a difference in terms of like the damage on a single enemy. I think there's maybe a bit more like cleave radius or something, and it definitely the combos are different. For instance, when you do melee and then stun, it's different on each of them. I noticed the chainsword would do way more stuns, but the power axe does like a bit more AoE, like electrical or I don't know, whatever. It just does like more damage in AoE, I believe. I could be wrong, but the combos are definitely they definitely feel different, and the axe also feels like it moves around a bit quicker. So you know, going from combo to combo, it feels a bit faster. Like you move around the battlefield a bit faster. But yeah, I show off some of those melee moves, and they have different executions for each weapon, which I was happy to see, because I was getting kind of tired of the chainsword ones. So you get to see a pretty wicked one at the very end. They definitely don't hold back. But yeah, let me know if you guys are looking forward to this game. Like I said, check out the demo for sure. It's tons of fun, and it's like just a little snippet of what they got. I really want to see a multiplayer demo. I hope they release one, but the game's coming out, I believe, September 6th, so there's not much time. I don't think they'll ever do it. But I'm curious if the multiplayer is any good. Like, I don't want to go out and buy it if the multiplayer is not that great. So we'll see if I end up picking it up or not. I'm going to go ahead and let the rest of this video play out. I'm sorry for the technical audio issues. They really, you know, it bugs me when it doesn't go as smoothly as planned. But like I said, make do with what I got. So thanks for watching as always, guys. And I'll catch you next time. See ya.
Shoot those humans!
Corporal Antioch?
Yes, my lord.
We have word that an Inquisitor is in the Manufactorum.
Yes, Lord Drogon. We have not seen him for several days.